What's up YouTube, Steven the Salon Guy here, and in today's video we're going to be talking about something that you're probably wondering why I'm even talking about this, but the topic is hair loss, okay? Now, I know I get so many comments from people on YouTube saying, you have no hair, how are you a hairstylist? Or how does it feel to have no hair when you're touching hair all day? I mean, look, for all the 10-year-olds that comment those things like, ha ha ha, you know what I mean? Yes, I lost my hair. I lost my hair probably like in my late 20s or so. I just shaved my head, and this is it. This is the result. I shaved my head. My hair grows like peach fuzz on the top of my head, grows in on the sides, but do I love it? It is what it is. You know what I mean? It is what it is. I can't really control it, but I want to talk to you today about, hair loss or hair fall. It's a very commonly used phrase, why do I keep getting hair fall or whatever? So let's talk about that. So it's just right off the bat, you guys need to understand something. I get a lot of comments that, just people asking me, why do I have hair falling out? Every human being loses between 50 to 100 hairs a day, sometimes even 150 to 200 hairs a day, depending on how much hair you have, depending if your hair is very, very curly, if you're a female, and I've noticed that quite a bit. If you have really curly, fine hair, it just sheds like crazy. Between 500 to say 200 hairs a day, the average human being loses. So that's one thing. So if you're combing out your hair and you're seeing it coming out in it's normal, okay? The only time you have to be really concerned is if you have a full head of thick hair like this, and then you start brushing it out and it starts really coming out in clumps, and then you start to look like me within a day, right? If it really becomes very, very obvious where your hair looks super, super thin, extremely quick, something's not normal, then, you need to kind of maybe go see a doctor or something like that. What happens is if your hair is starting to, thin out gradually, and I get this all the time too. Sometimes people say like, oh, my hair is starting to get thinner in places. I'm starting to look like you can see my scalp more. Or if I'm like, I feel like I'm balding or it's going in the corners. If it's something that's progressively happening, maybe it runs in your family. A lot of times hair loss is created from stress and from, it's hereditary. All right, and also you're on medications. Sometimes certain medications, and this is a fact, medications can cause you to have hair loss, like specific heart medications or cancer medications, whatever it is, that alone can cause significant hair loss. So those are really three contributing factors to it. Also, if you're damaging your hair, if you're bleaching your hair, if you're over processing your hair, if it's breaking off, those are other things that could contribute to hair loss. So how do we kind of prevent hair loss from happening? Honestly, you really can't, especially if it's hereditary, okay? There's things out there over the counter like biotin pills. Biotin is something that I have seen work that has created thicker hair in people. I'm not saying it may work for you, it may not work for you, but it's something that I've seen that definitely works. Also using proper products for men that actually help block DHT, which is a contributing factor to hair loss. My Pure shampoo set actually helps block DHT, and it helps promote thicker hair growth. So you gotta make sure that you're using things that are gonna help contribute to a healthy scalp and to promote and stimulate the scalp so it can provide healthier and thicker hair growth. That's very, very important as well. There's other things out there over the counter, certain other brands and product companies that say, it does grow thicker hair, it does regrow your hair. I mean, look, I don't know, I can't make any promises or say yes or no, but there's a lot of stuff out there with a lot of interesting claims, okay? There's prescriptions for stuff that if you take it, it could grow maybe some peach fuzz and things like that. But honestly, everybody has these kind of misconceptions about, how they can fix their hair from it falling out or why does it keep happening? And you have to understand that, like, sometimes it's nature, If you're wearing hats all the time, I personally myself noticed hair loss with hats when I was younger. I had I had blonde hair. I would always wear hats, and I did notice that it was causing my hair to shed quite a bit more, especially in the corners. So for me, if you're losing your hair, I'm not really keen on wearing a lot of hats, just because my own personal experience, it did make it worse, okay? And that's me. That's me. washing your hair more often, is that going to make your hair fall out? No. All right? It's not going to make your hair fall out. If you're using good shampoo, I think you just need to cleanse your hair based on how dirty it is, right? I think if you wash it, not as often, that could help. Instead of washing every day, if your hair doesn't get that oily or that greasy or dirty, then wash it maybe every 3 days or maybe every 4 days. Okay, I did notice that the natural oils from the scalp can create the hair to help the hair grow faster, and I haven't seen that directly myself with my own eyes as a stylist. I've seen that. So if you're combing your hair and you're seeing it come out in the comb, you see 4 hairs or 5 hairs, and you freak out. Don't worry, it's normal. Okay, and sometimes if you use hair products and you run your hands through the hair and you go like this and you see like this, here's a strand of hair right here, right? If you see hair coming out, those may be those hairs coming out. It's just attaching to the product. So you're going, oh my gosh, there's 20 hairs in my hand. Well, those 20 hairs are going to fall out anyway. They're just sitting there. The product attaches to those and it just comes right out. That's basically what that means. So I would say, like, again, take those things into consideration. Sometimes you really can't help it. It's hereditary or medications or, over processing your hair. You just got to be really, really careful. So, haircuts could help, specific haircuts, or you can shave your head bald like me. But if you guys have any specific questions about, hair loss or why your hair is falling out, hopefully this did answer those questions for you. But if you have any questions, leave them in the comments below. So thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And I'll see you next time for more videos with The Salon Guy.